This is Grant James, and now we're going to do a roll through of part one of the P-Rule test, going through the answers. With pronunciation, sometimes there are alternate pronunciations, or sometimes a word can have multiple meanings, which means it could be pronounced differently. If there is something that you disagree with or you see a different perspective on, if you can state your case, I think that maybe that can make sense. A lot of what we're trying to reiterate here is the most common ways that things are pronounced. But if you're a stickler on things and you see things from a different perspective, feel free to reach out or kind of state your case. But the important part is that you understand kind of how things should be pronounced in general. So this is the test that that people took about. I took it in 2002, so about 17 years ago. I guess it's been a while. But it's a great test. I like to use it for first take the test once without really knowing the rules very well to see where you are, engage where you are. Common test scores that we see on this are usually between about 10% up to about 30 or 40%. I got 62%, which I felt really bad about at the beginning until Bruce told me that that was definitely on the much higher side, maybe one of the higher ones he had seen. But it just goes to show that even if you have good ears, if you don't know the rules, what they are, it's going to be hard for you to pronounce a lot of things correctly, especially when it's things that you have never heard before. So let's dive right into it. So I'm going to go through the answers, how things should be pronounced. Some of the annotations that we're using: voiced, something that's in the middle of a word, so like ka versus aga, ta versus ada, cha versus aja, those types of situations. If it's voiced, we're gonna put an apostrophe. Next is going to be going up, so the ng sound 안녕하다, 안녕하세요, 사랑하다. You're going to put an arrow saying that it goes up and takes over the H sound. If it's two words put together and that affects the pronunciation, you can put a tilde there. And then long vowels, so things like 많이 or 말하다. So let's get into it. 지 않고. This has a tilde here because it's carrying over from another part of a word. So 하지 않고, 가지 않고. The important parts are that this is voiced, and then you could put a tilde between these, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't affect anything. And then 않고. The H sound carries up and makes that into an aspirated ko. Next one, 10장. So chapter 10. 3일절. Usually, with scriptures, for instance, if there's a 일 in front of it, so 일, 1절, 7절, 8절, you're going to have that become a forticized 절 afterwards. We get into common holidays or dates that people use in Korea. A common one is 유교, so 유교 때. That's going to be a voiced, contracted K sound. So 유교 instead of 유기요, 유교. This one, what we're looking for in 가죠 is basically there's a rule that talks about just taking that from like a yo to an all sound when it's accompanied with a chikud sound. So 가죠. You can also say 가죠 this way because it basically sounds the same. This one, I've seen it in different pronunciation dictionaries different ways. It does have a long vowel. Long vowels, you should get an extra point if you use them properly. So extra credit if you knew what it was. If you don't, no worries, you're not going to be dinged for it. But 간단, 간단하다. Some people will also say 간단. But both of those are acceptable. 굳이. If you don't know what a word is, you can often just take it and look it up in Google. So you can look up 굳이 there and see what it means. They do a decent job of translating things. Then we have 그들과 함께. This is going to be, 들 is going to be voiced as well as 함께, so it's much softer. 그들과 함께. Next one, 그렇습니다. The H sound goes away and it becomes a 쌍시옷, so 그렇습니다. Next, 극복하다. the K sound goes up, and this becomes a forticized B sound. 극복하다. Then we have, if you were to look this word up, kumyung, there's two ways that you can say it. Let's look it up, kumyung or kumyung. Both of them work just fine, so however you want to deal with that. 길가, 꽃잎. This has a tilde between here because the hard CH sound carries up. So 꽃잎, 끝날 때. Same thing there. 끝날 때, 낳는, 너희 right there. 넋, 놀 때, 넓다. This is a word, I think it means like wide and round. 납둥글다. Probably you will never use this word, but it's a good one because you're taking what happens with the B sound, because you're either going to, if you were to guess, you would either say 넓다, right? Or you would say 넓다. But the proper pronunciation here is 넓다, but the proper pronunciation here is 납둥글다. So, and let's look that up here. Yep, so you'll see the same thing. Obviously, they're not going to include voicing and unvoicing in the dictionary, but that is correct. Next one, 넙죽하다, 여자. So 여자 becomes 여자, girl, right? Woman. 놓는, 능력, 다치다, 다치다. 닭, chicken is 닭. But if you put an object marker underneath it, it's 닭을. Next one, 담고, blanket, 담요. This one, when I was a missionary, the first word in the first discussion was 대부분의, most people. 대부분의, voiced, unvoiced, long vowel if you can find it. 많고, 많다, 많은. 많이, 말하다, 맛없다, 맛있다. 맛있다, tastes good. 멋있다, handsome. 못하다, 문법, because this comes from a Chinese word. It's 문법, not 문법. Same thing here, 문자. And really what that is so 문 is going to be like a character. And then cha kind of also means character, but like a sentence's character, I guess. So there you could say that there's an apostrophe, something just an s, a shiot is actually there. So you could say that it's actually written like, but it won't even do it. It's like 문자. So this invisible S sound exists, which carries up and turns it into 문자. 문자 그대로, right? 묻히다, 물집. I think that means blister. This one, 박경애입니다. So we have the up going through. You could also say 박경애입니다, or if you were just to say it really slow, you could state a case here that it's just 박경애입니다, depending on speed and how much you want to elongate that. So on this one, I'd say there's multiple different things depending on kind of how you play that. You could just as easily say, yeah, 박경애입니다. But the point is that this, if you say it together with a tilde, is going to turn into a forticized sound. And then a lot of times they will take 입니다 and put it right underneath whatever it is. So 박경애입니다. Or, yeah, it depends on speed. Now we have 발전, to progress. 밟히다, 밟다, 밥 먹는다. Or if you're from Busan, like my companion, I think they would say 밥 먹나. Did you eat? 밥 먹는다. 밭에, 마치, 마치. Interesting that sound right there goes to 밭이. 밭에 here and 밭이 here. 보아 would become 바, like 해, 보아, 해봐. Or if you just want to do it the normal way, it's probably correct as well. 사건, 사람들, 사람들이. Next, the common word 감사합니다 or 감사합니다. Important parts here are that the H sound is softer. It does have a long vowel, and sometimes they will just contract it so it's kind of all together. So 값없이, without price. 갖고 계신 or 갖고 계신. So you could do 예 or 에. These are going to have to go together, and this becomes a voiced K sound. There are lots of ways you could write this. Sometimes people will just drop that right there. You could state a case for just 갖고, but in a dictionary you're probably going to find 갖고 계신 like that. 검열, 고가, 고가. If you don't know the word, again, you can take it, throw it into Google, and 고가, 골랄, 교회, 교회. Two different ways on that one. This is the one we use most commonly. 돼, 돼. 될 것이다. So this 리을 at the bottom comes up, makes this forticized. This you're going to use a lot. You'll sound awesome if you do things like that. Like if people are speaking 반말 and you hear it, you'll hear like 할 거야. 그렇게 할 걸, or 될 것입니다. 될 거리요. There's lots of different ways that comes into play. Like 될 것이다. 낙원 becomes 낙원. 내일 is 내일. 양심, 양심. This way, not 양심. 사망, death. 삶, life. 삶. It's not 삶, it's 삶. You can only have one bottom 받침. You can't have two, so you got to make a choice. Good news is if you're not sure, you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Let's take it and confirm it in a dictionary. Yep, 삶. 서울역. That's going to be 서울 train station or subway station. 26. 26. 시계, 시계, 예 or 에, 시계. Either one of those will work. 식당. If you ever have an opinion that says 식당, it is not correct, and they may or may not understand what you're saying. 식당. Same with 신권. Not 신권, it's 신권. 실제. 싫어도 해, 싫어도 하세요. Even though you hate it, do it. 싫어도 해. 아니요, 아니요. 안녕하다. 앉다. 앉는, 알아라. This is an interesting one. So if you look up the word 알다, this is actually one I'm still trying to get a little bit better at. So the word 알다 is to know, but it does have a long vowel here. But there, if you read the Korean documentation on it, it doesn't always apply. If you write it 알다, like 알다고 했습니다, then it would be a long A. But if you just say 알아, like I know it, then you don't say it. So even if you really get into reading the documentation on some of the stuff, it's pretty interesting. So in this case, we chose not to put the long vowel because there's another underlying rule there. But you could put it, 알아라, 알아, 알아라. Just know it. 앉다, 없으니, 없으니. So here the 쌍시옷 comes up. Here, 없으니, 없는, 없는 거요. Right? 없다. So it's kind of funny how that bottom 받침 can have so many different pronunciations depending on what's after it. And that's kind of what we're testing you on here. Do you understand that here it's 없애다, to come to not exist. 없어, 없어. or as I said where I lived in Gwangju, 없어. 읽겠습니다. 읽고. This is a good one to know because you might say, actually, this may be easier for missionaries because there is a kiok sound right after that, so 읽고 may be easier to figure out. But here, did you know that this is pronounced 읽다? If you don't believe me, ask a Korean dictionary. 읽다. 임진난. This is that one special instance where it is not carried through with an L sound. It's an N sound, more like the North Koreans. So, guess Google doesn't know what that means. 있고, 있는, 있다, 있어, 있어, 없어, 있어요. 잎, leaf, 장로, 장로님, 장로님. This is interesting. 제3, 제4, right? So we have 제 and 제. This is actually unvoiced and this is voiced. That's an easy pickup. But the long vowel here thing is super interesting to me because usually a long vowel will only occur after the first sound. But because it's kind of two words put together without a space, they do it again here. 제3, 제4. Interesting, right? So here you could say 접니다 or 저입니다, right? 전기줄. This is going to be a string, a light, like an electric string for a light. 하늘에 계신 하느님 아버지시여. 우리는 당신의 아들 예수 그리스도 이름으로 비옵나니. That used to be how you would start the sacrament prayer back when the church was called 마릴 성도 예수 그리스도 교회. Now it is something different. 예수 그리스도 후기 성도 교회 or something like that. All right, here is an interesting one. When people read it, I see missionaries get this wrong. Actually, let's make this easier like that. So 할 일이 있어요. 할 일이 있어, right? So I have something that I have to do. 할 일이 있어요. A lot. If you were to read it, a lot of missionaries would say 할 일이 있습니다. But it's really 할 일이 있어요 because the tilde comes into place, and anytime you have that 리을, it can affect the next thing, just like 할 거예요 or now you have 할 일. 한국말, 한글. This is Korea. If you looked at the 한자 behind it, Korea country words. So 한국말, 한글, 한자. 할 수 있다, 할 수 있어요, 할 수 있다, 할 수 있다, 핥다. I think that means to lick. 협력, let's look it up. Because that would be embarrassing if I got that wrong. Lick. 핥다. 협력. So this B sound becomes an M. 협력. Instead of 협력. 협의. I did see, so our rule here is going to be 협의, and that's how we're going to do it. But I did see, if you look this one up, they do have it pronounced this way. And I will say I've heard really old people say 협의 like that, but I don't know, I have a hard time saying that. 협의. 확인. 휘발유. So in this case, there's an invisible L sound that just magically appears. So we get 휘발유. 흙과. So dirt and 흙과. 희망. This is interesting. I may have mentioned this one before, but I would think that there would be an alternate pronunciation for 희망 like that, but they don't have that. It's really just 희망. Who knew? All right, couple more. 여덟. 제가 8살이었을 때, when I was 8. 여자입니다. 여자입니다. 열심히 하세요. 영업용. Used for business, I think. 영업용. Business. Yep. 와. So you could say 와 like that, but the rule we're trying to enforce here is 와. 옷. Clothing. 옷감. 외골. So again, you get to choose. It could be 외골 if you were guessing, or 외골. So let's double check it. 외골 or 외골. Correcto. 은행. This is one of those situations where we are deviating with the dictionary. If you looked it up and you really wanted to fight us on it, you could say that, but the dictionary says 은행. So that must be it. But when you're speaking, it really comes out for a foreigner more like 은행 to be more accurate. But you can make an argument on it. 없다. 의미. 이다. 이요. 인에서. Yeah. 인에서. 절대. 절절하다. So in this case, it's not, when it's followed by itself, in a lot of situations like this, it is not forticized. Let's check it. Yep, it's just right there. 절절하다. That's it. Not 절절하다. 젊다. And I will say, when you're reading, it becomes difficult sometimes. Sometimes you just kind of have to make a guess and just say, like, what is it? I mean, do I want to try to forticize it or not? I don't know what the word is because you don't have the luxury real time of figuring that out. So if I were to guess it and I didn't know that rule, maybe I would say 절절하다, but it's pretty close to 절절하다, and they probably get it, but you shouldn't forticize it there. Although I have heard Koreans have difficulty with that themselves. 제60. The important thing here is that becomes a double S. 제60. 주의 or 주의, but this is easier to say and probably more common. If you said it slow enough or you're a really old person, maybe you'd hear that. 주의, caution, 주의하세요, be careful. 저 or 저. Probably you could make an argument for maybe that, maybe, but we'll just keep it like this for now, but you can make an argument there. 지혜, wisdom, 지혜, 해 or 해, 지혜. But the important part is that for us, this is going to be what we're calling voiced. 책임, responsibility. 첫 번째, first. 축복, blessing. 칼날. If you don't know what it means, ask a Google. Knife. So 칼, pretty easy to know. I don't know why that comes into play. Maybe the edge of a knife? Okay, I would probably just say 칼. But if you're taking a pronunciation test or you just saw the word 칼날. 통하여, the sound goes up. 통하여, right? Anytime you have this 기, which is like a grammatical thing, 풍기다, it's not going to be 품기다. That's kind of what you're being quizzed on here. It's 품기다, not 품기다. 품다. Now, if it's by itself, it does become forticized. So 품다. You see that with a lot of the M words. 품다. So that is it. Hopefully that makes sense. I did want to go through and just say all these things because I think sometimes just reading it, not everybody's going to learn the same way, study the same way, what have you. So just wanted to go through and pronounce them as a foreigner, showing you that you can get it. You can sound pretty Korean with these things. And Koreans love it. When you know these rules and you're pronouncing things properly, you'll literally read like a sentence and Koreans will be like, not the normal, oh, 한국어 잘하시네요, which is really, when someone says that, it's actually, you probably could put a question mark at the end of it. They're almost asking, are you really good at Korean? or you're really good at Korean type of thing. But when your pronunciation is good, you'll get different types of compliments. They'll be like, "와, 발음이 정확하네요." Your pronunciation is very like solid, exact, or yeah. Anyway, all sorts of different compliments that you'll get, and they at that point, when you get those types of compliments, they really are appreciating the effort that you put into it. Hope you enjoy. Good luck. Maybe your first test won't be that great, but the great thing about this test is you can literally memorize these, whatever it is, 140 different ones, and learn these situationally, and they happen so often you can apply these rules. I think the P-rule test, this part of it, is really, really good. In the future, we'll go through some of the other parts of the test that exist, and we'll just leave it at that. Thanks.